Good day, everyone. This is Kirill. We are continuing with the series of the Course in Miracles review lessons. And this is second episode in the series, lesson 52. And we'll go through the lesson, we'll do a little bit of meditation, then we'll do the lesson, and then we'll share an experience, how it goes. And let me start with sharing my screen. Um, okay, it's this one, share. Okay, I'm screen sharing. Okay, here we go. And so, we're looking at review lesson number 52. And first, let's just read through the lesson. So, reviewing lesson number 6. I am upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. It is impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I'm upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with illusions I made up. The illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality, and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I'm always upset by nothing. Yeah, the only thing that really kind of caught my attention is that illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality, meaning my reality, my own reality. And the way I read it now is just such a kind of promising statements. Reality is never frightening. I'm always upset by nothing. Reality brings only perfect peace. Yeah, nice. Let's move on. I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon. I call this sin. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past, and therefore no enemies. And I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. Such a beautiful text. Yeah. It's interesting how he talks about enemies and says that I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. Yeah, interesting. It is only our stories. We have no enemies. It is only our stories that someone or something or some situation or some group of people are such and such. And because I have this story and I tell it to myself all the time, I make my own enemies. There are no enemies. Such a beautiful statement. Alrighty, next lesson. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. What then can I see as it is? Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. Let me understand that I'm trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in so doing, I'm giving up nothing. Such wise statements. Interesting. I'm fascinated how he tells in such simple words so deep things. Let me understand I'm trying to use time against God. What could it mean? The way I understand it, it is just I'm using time as a delay tactic, as a defense mechanism against going back to heaven now. And yeah, the way to release myself from the chains of time that I kind of imposed on myself is just to give the past away by using forgiveness, realizing that in so doing, I'm giving up nothing. Yeah, all our baggage in life, we could just give away. And in so doing, we'll sacrifice nothing. Course never asked for sacrifice. It's just the ego's interpretation. All right, let's move on. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. I can see only what is now. The choice is not whether to see the past or present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I have chosen to see has cost me vision. Now I would choose again, that I may see. It's interesting how time and time again Course emphasizes that everything of the ego and everything of the Holy Spirit of God are in complete opposition, and there could not be reconciled in any way. That's nice. I really like this consistency, of course. Yeah. The choice is merely whether to see or not. There is nothing in between. There are no options. It's black and white. Okay, next lesson, number 10. My thoughts do not mean anything. Right. I have no private thoughts. Yet, it is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can those thoughts mean? They do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? So, as time, this idea, as time is a kind of defense and delay device, pretty much the idea of a separate body with separate thoughts is kind of the same thing. It's just a manifestation of the original idea of separation. It just introduces barriers of time, space, bodies, um, everything. Like, I don't know, atoms, molecules, electrons, whatever. Everything is separate to the very deep level, and then galaxies, planets, all that. And it says here, I have no private thoughts, which means we're all united, really. And there is no universe of separate objects. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, so standard uh, kind of a little bit of explanation what to do if you experience resistance. And all the lessons in course have potential to trigger our resistance. And it's absolutely normal. Don't run from it. Don't try to hide from it. Just admit it, accept it, ask Holy Spirit for help. Let Him help you. And yeah, so if you are watching it, you can click on pause and read a few sentences that I wrote here. They're very helpful. I really use all of them. And now I will pause the recording for 10 minutes and we'll do a quick meditation. So the meditation here is just to sink our minds into these 5 ideas and to see what Holy Spirit has to say about them. It's interesting. Uh, you can share in the comments what you found in this meditation. I'd be really interested to read. All right. Yeah, share your screen again. Yeah. Yeah, so for me, for the most part, maybe 9 minutes out of 10, I felt just dark clouds. I felt hopelessness. It will never end. Like, of course, I was actively doing the forgiveness, and I was actively releasing, but I couldn't even quite put my finger on it. What is that? That is so dark and so heavy, that is rising up. And in the last minute, I grew a little bit of impatient, and I was asking Holy Spirit, what is that? Why is it so uneventful? And and then Holy Spirit just showed me how these dark clouds and me succumbing to the idea that this is my destiny is exactly what ego wants. It is ego's story to try to convince me that all these dark clouds is really me. And then Holy Spirit just showed me that this is just a story. This is just how ego works. This is just how it makes me believe that it is true. And that this whole story of darkness is true. And yeah, so in the end of meditation, I was relieved. I was just relieved because it, like, of course, we don't know anything, but it felt not great. Yeah, it was unpleasant, and it's not very frequent that I have like straight dark ideas for the whole meditation. Alrighty, that was me. And actually, despite all of that, I didn't see it coming. And so, yeah, I just want to share a little bit about my experience with Holy Spirit and His ideas. So when I ask Holy Spirit to give me His point of view and share His ideas with me, it is almost always, without exception, He just gives me different interpretation. And this is exactly what the Course says. So I'm looking at exactly the same thing, but I see a very different meaning. So I was, in the end of the meditation, I was still looking at the darkness. But the difference is that the meaning that I saw is that all of a sudden I saw this story and I saw it as a mechanism that ego uses to convince me that I'm a body, I'm mere mortal, la la la, all of that. And this is every time, no exception. This is surprising to me. And content never changes, but the attitude changes dramatically. And this is most important. This is how I know that this is Holy Spirit, because the change is drastic, change in attitude, change in meaning is drastic. So yeah, that's how it works for me. I know that Kate is talking about that she never confused ego and Holy Spirit. I did, and sometimes it is difficult for me to distinguish the voice. But when it comes to attitudes, this is unmistakable. I would never ever confuse ego's ideas and Holy Spirit's ideas. They're just, it's day and night. They're very clearly different. And Holy Spirit always has this kindness and tenderness in its approach, and ego always has this heaviness, anger, and guilt. I'd say they're very easy to tell apart. Alrighty, main part, doing the lesson. Okay, I need to open another presentation where I have all the same slides, but in a loop. And yeah, what will happen is that each slide will now change every 20 seconds, and we'll go through the same lessons, through the same slides 10 times, which is roughly 10 or 15 minutes. I don't remember. And each slide will stay on the screen for 20 seconds. So the way I was guided to go about it is that uh, we need to pick any bullet point on each slide and concentrate on it alone for 20 seconds. And then the slide changes, you pick something else, some other bullet point, and concentrate on it alone for 20 seconds, and so on, so on, so on. So yeah, I find it very helpful because I don't lose focus. So it is very realistic for me to focus on something for 20 seconds, and my mind doesn't wander, it doesn't have time. And then I have to focus on something else. And then, yeah, so sometimes you can go like all first bullet points and then all second bullet points and so on. Sometimes you can choose random, but usually I feel guided. I feel guided specifically what to choose and what to focus upon. And yeah, let's just start. Okay. Stop it. All right. So, yeah, let's switch back. Yeah. I started typing something, apparently I didn't finish this final. Um, yeah, so this particular exercise was a little bit difficult for me today. Uh, there was a very strong desire to get distracted. Um, and I spent a little bit of time asking Holy Spirit to just take it. And at one point, I had some thoughts like, "Oh, it doesn't work. It will never work." And like, also, I forgot that I set up the presentation in such a way that it would loop endlessly, and I just realized it now. And also, I didn't uh, notice what time it was when we started, and then my eyes were just glued to the question, "What do these thoughts mean?" And I was like, "Oh, what do these thoughts mean?" And I was sitting there, "What do these thoughts mean?" And I couldn't find the answer. And they started to dissipate. Again, it was last minute maybe, and yeah, it was a nice exercise in the end. Although, yeah, today it was a little bit on the dark side. I don't know really why, but yeah, it is how it should be. That's all right. I know from experience that some lessons do feel dark, even though when I reread them, I think, well, why such positive lesson? But yeah, our perception is our perception, and we ask Holy Spirit to help us with to. We essentially give this resistance up, these dark clouds up to the Holy Spirit. We really don't know what to do with them. If we did, we would fix the situation long ago. And yeah, like I guess everyone who's doing the course had to realize at some point that they're unhappy. And so yeah, whatever we fix, we're still unhappy. So many generations, so many years. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I am glad we're doing that. I have no idea who will watch this, and yeah, I love you. Thanks very much for doing that. By doing that, we are helping not only each other, and it doesn't matter if you're watching it in the future, by the way, because time is an illusion, and we're helping each other and everyone really, because there's only one of us right now. And with that, see you next week. Thank you very much. How do I stop it?